Second Ezra's starting at verse 54. Sorrows are past, and in the end is showed the treasure of immortality. And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous, and said in their heart that there is no power, yea, and that knowing they must die. Verse 59. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it was not his will that men should come to naught. But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. Then answered I and said, Behold, O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, now hast thou showed me the multitude of the wonders which thou wilt begin to do in the last times. But at what time thou hast not showed me? Thou hast not showed me. But at what time thou hast not showed me? Verse 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rachak, Thumb. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders, a great millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwatini Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's Brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Basically, this lesson is in regards to an article that popped up on my Newsbreak app, and it, I got it earlier today, but there's, the beloved, Elder Apostle Tahar deemed this year, the year of Yahweh Shem Yahushua turning up. Brothers recognize that the Spirit is turning up for not only the 2/3, but for brothers as well. It's getting hot. But nonetheless, I'm just not getting the opportunity to do this video, but it's just a testament to the times are coming in. It was a video that the Elder Yasha Wamba from Dallas did about the elite. I forgot what who the elite was, but he made a statement saying that Americans should go ahead and let they animals, their pets die. It's some old crazy shit, and it made me think of Second Thessalonians chapter 2 about how the wicked being revealed, because for you to have a mindset like that, they really truly look at you like you as nothing. Even some of their people, the two-time losers, those that weren't born with the blessing of the wealth and the riches and shit, like the Elder Apostle Tahar says, it tells you Abraham was blessed because he had slaves and land and whatnot, and these elites have slaves because when you figure out how the system works, your mother basically uh signed them over to to the elites with your social security number, but not to get into too, because now it's like you can't even really read out the articles because these devils try to make a case so bad. They talk about the accuser of our brother for they trying to make something out of nothing when we read out of articles and matching it up with the scriptures. But it says, now this is an article, and I'm just reading straight from the articles. It says, and a couple scriptures popped in mind, so Lord willingly is edifying. It says Americans should prepare to spend an extra $3,000 this year due to higher. Uh, then I don't know why I did that. It just skipped. Why did it do that? Stop. Top credit card wipes out interest into nearly. That ain't what I wanted. Bear with me for a second. Okay, that was weird. It says Americans should prepare to spend an extra 3,000 this year due to higher food and gas costs. It says key points: inflation in the Ukraine conflict are causing an uptick in gas prices to the tune of 2,000 extra this year for the average consumer. Groceries will cost the average American an extra $1,000 in 2022. And you got to understand, these is like like they say, the average American only has so much money saved up for unexpected expense. So you got people that's living day to day and expecting like tax refunds and whatnot. And I hear a lot of people aren't receiving those because the IRS is basically those stimuluses they gave people during the summer. That extra 350 for each child and whatnot. A lot of people out here had to pay that back. I've heard a few different people personally said that they had to pay it back. If you were hoping 2022 will be the year you will ramp up your savings, you may need to rethink your plans. So far, we're starting off the year with record high food and gas costs, and things could get worse before they get better. And this has already been made known. They already projected that it's going to be higher food costs. You got a lot of economists made mention of that. Brothers made mention of that because we do the research and the heavy lifting for these lazy ass Babylonians. And then they look at us like we're crazy. That's why I find it funny, like I said, that we'll get flagged for reading out of an article that comes out of publications that's in Babylon. If you were hoping I read that part. It says a $3,000 hit to the American wallets. Gas prices have been soaring lately. I know somebody that lived in Cleveland with me and moved to California, and I think she showed on Facebook her putting, I think, 10 gallons in her tank, and it came up to $125. And she made a little joke, because that's how a lot of these Babylonians get through the stress of living in Babylon. Talking about they want you coming to the office 3 times a week. No, but the gas is going to continue to go up, and if that company tells your ass to come into the office, you're going to do that. They probably wouldn't got that jab and stabbed as well. Gas prices have been soaring lately on a national average. The average cost per gallon is already about $4, and AAA reports a 41-cent jump in gas prices during the first full week of the Ukraine conflict. In fact, higher gas costs alone will likely force the average household to spend an additional $2,000 in the course of the year, according to new data from Yardeni Research. Meanwhile, an extra 1,000 due to an increase in grocery costs. All told, that means consumers are looking at losing an additional 3,000 this year just to cover a couple of basic expenses. The 3,000 doesn't even account for other rising living costs like utilities and property tax for owners. Salaki, it says all that told, that means consumers are. I read that part. How to cope with higher prices, and I'm gonna end it at that. Because the simple fact is, it says how to cope with it, and you only gonna cope with it through having trust in anything. Because scripture popped in mind. These man-made, are these man-made tactics to deal with. This is what's the word? It's not the right approach to it. The only way you're gonna be sustained through this is through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Makes me think of the account in Genesis with Jacob or Israel sending his sons down to Egypt and getting help from Israel sending his sons down to Egypt and getting help from Joseph. You know what I mean? And when you go into that's why it's so important to follow Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because if Joseph would have bucked up or would have tried to run from his destiny, in a way, Joseph was a savior to his people. It says he will add when you go into Yahweh Sop. Joseph is Yahweh Sop in the Hebrew, and it means to grow or to add. And he grew the nation of Israel by, because when Israel came into Egypt, it tells you that they multiplied, and that's because they multiplied. The Pharaoh basically worked them with vigor, meaning he dealt roughly with them. The more he put hell on them, the more Jake multiplied. Just like today, We are like the only people that catch all this stress, go through all this drama, and still having babies left and right, as opposed to Esau, Edom, whose birth rates are down. So, point being, it says literally that expect this to be hitting your wallet. And when you go into the book of Haggai, it tells you, especially for Jake, Yasharallah, that it's like putting money in a bag full of hoes. Well, now, you know, you know, the heathen as well as Jake, everybody that's subject to Babylon is going to feel this, because it's going to affect all of Babylon until, through the spirit, until, they try to come, because basically this is a military tactic. They making it stressed out and going to stress you out so they can come with the solution. You know what I mean? That pressure from above, pressure from below. Then they gonna come with the solution. Oh yeah, universal basic income or something like that. If you only do such and such. So and it's all based off of this fucked up ass system. Because the system is based on debt. It's based on it's a false balance. When you go into the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1, it says a false weight is abomination. A false balance is an abomination. It's not nothing literally backing this money system, this fiat currency, except for debt, because it's witchcraft. This is the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. And I started with that second Ezra, because, basically when you go into them tokens and them signs, it's talking about these prophecies. Second Ezra Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables. So we, as, the men out here doing the work of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's prophets, because we got to be them men, because we are the only men, starting first and foremost with the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and on down, all these men that sincerely push this truth. If it's not us, who else could it be? Who else is doing this? It says, for the vision is yet for a point in time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Because it may start up, then it may stop. It may start, it may stop, but it's going to come to pass. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. And whose soul is that? It's talking about Esau, Edom. It tells you in the scriptures who can make straight, who the Most High has made crook, roughly paraphrased. It tells you that he was made to be the wicked, but the just shall live by his faith. And that's what we're counting on. It tells you, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17. But in that same chapter, like 2 verses over, it says, but blessed be the man that trusteth in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua by his faith. Verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, meaning his philosophies. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, which you see. And now that's why they're involved. You got America that's involved with something that's going on in a country that has nothing to do with him. Ukraine was a part of Russia, part of the Soviet Union. So, what the fuck do you, and then it's funny part is, like I said, if Russia was trying to say something about what we're doing over in another country, the Americans, these Babylonians will literally be up in arms about it. It says, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth on him but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? Because he's always, he's basically amassing more and more land of his control. You gotta look at how many embassies, American embassies, is there are in the world. It's more embassies than it is countries. I believe last time I heard it was like over 800 or something like that. I know for a fact it ain't 800 countries. So how did you even possibly do that? Now I know the one that was in China, China had one in America, I think in like Dallas or Texas somewhere, and America had one over in there. And when they was going through the whole little money trade war thing, they both like had to clear their citizens out of it. It says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. When you go into that word clay, I forgot the Hebrew word, but basically it goes into debt. And this debt is this money system, this fiat currency. So you about to realize how much of a debt note this is, because it's gonna take a whole bunch of debt notes to buy the simplest of things. When you go into Germany, the Weimarer Republic, and with Hitler and how they, all that, basically you had a situation similar. It took wheelbarrows full of money to buy the simplest thing, like a loaf of bread, because I guess they were still having hope in that money, because that's what it is. That it's a talisman. You know, you hoping in something. That's why people, they knew it was worthless, but they still trying to hold on to it. I'm gonna end with this, because at the end of the day, like, the article was gonna go into with these are a couple strategies to try to use to deal with this, but it ain't no strategies. You know what I mean? Scriptures say is evil, and only evil has come. This is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, power and evil, and only evil, behold, has come. Verse 6, an end is come, the end is come, and watch for thee, behold, it is come. So, and like I started with that second Ezra chapter 9, it said, the end is manifest. So if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, because we are at the end. I suggest you come back, or you shall be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam, La Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kodesh Wakatham. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwak and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, with whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. Till next time, I'm coming with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Mawaf lababal, shalom.